Welcome to
Good Lord.
Welcome. We're the Mediocritics. I'll redo that because I'll sound like a clusterfuck. Ready? We're the... Are you done? You don't have nothing to add to this.
Oh, you're gonna be good.
Yeah, you were the worst.
Take that
it
off.
What?
Take that off. Take that
That's
off
gonna make too
right
much
now.
noise. Take it off.
No, hold on.
No, take it.
I'm silent.
You're not. Take it off. As soon as you talk.
Oh, you're gonna be moving around that.
Yeah.
Take that off.
Well, listen, guys.
It's too crispy. Get it off. It's too starchy. Get rid of it.
You're too fucking starchy potato dick.
Potato cock.
fucking tater cock.
That's pretty good. We're the fucking crunchiest fucking things. Oh, it's still gone. Okay.
Get all out.
You done? No. It doesn't look like you're done.
Something's happening.
He's pooping.
Yeah, I think he might be shitting.
Oh, God.
I was waiting for him to say something.
We're the media. Shut
Shut
up.
Jesus Christ.
Shut up.
Oh, God.
Welcome to the Mediocritics.
We'll do that again.
Yeah. I mean, it doesn't matter.
Welcome to Mediocriticast.
Proceed. Welcome to the Mediocritics.
I'm Andrew.
I'm Daniel.
And I'm Kevin. And so, today we are continuing our emotions podcast. And so...
And what are we on? What is it that we...
You know, it's on the tip of my tongue, and I just can't remember, and it's making me so... Oh.
What is that? Yeah, happy?
What?
What's it?
That feeling that I just had. What was it? It was anger.
Oh, okay.
It was anger.
Yeah.
You don't like me when I'm angry.
Okay. We're on that again. We're on that again. So yeah, so we're talking about
anger. So whether it was a movie you went into and you got angry because you felt misled, you walked out of it and you were just angry for no reason, or a movie people liked and you disliked, or just the emotion of anger. It doesn't matter where the anger came from or necessarily where it originated from, but what we're talking about is movies or experiences that made us angry.
Is there any themes in movies that make anyone angry? Like you hate it? Is there? Can we start with that?
I can start. Crude humor makes me angry in movies. So a movie that originally came out and people still love. And,
Deadpool.
Yeah, and I'm okay with it. Me and you share that sentiment.
Yeah.
And
I think we touched a little bit on this before.
I've watched it. It's
bullshit.
Yeah, it's the humor that's to the point of like it comes across as like a teenager who just realized they can curse.
Yeah.
And it's like, or they found out they can curse in front of their parents or something. Mm-hmm. It's just that kind of thing where it's like you're walking through a room or something, you say something, it's a little edgy or something, and you take like that side glance, you look at your parents, and you're just like, oh, did they hear what I said?
Like you finally just took that baby toe over the line.
Yeah, and you're like, guys, did you see what I did? Yeah. Did you? And you keep like, and they will not.
I just said a naughty curse.
Yeah, and they just won't
naughty
stop.
Cuss.
But they won't leave it until they get a reaction out.
And they were
right.
And with Deadpool, they were highlighting it because almost no superhero movies before that obviously had that type of humor. But it's like he'll say like the F word or make like a dick joke, and they're like, "Oh, did you see what I did there?
Yeah, and it's
did
like
you
that's
see
what
it? Did you hear it?"
The hard R to me, that's silly. It's almost like there's crude humor in like if a movie is made for like a teenager, like I don't know, like I would almost get that, but like then you're giving it the R and so many adults are liking it, like really?
Yeah,
is it that refreshing to you that you're seeing
the R,
it?
When that kind of stuff happens, the R seems cheap. You know, like, because back in the day, the R's was because of, like, extra gore or because of nudity or something, but it's when you throw an R rating on something, you, like, tout it just because there's some crude humor in it. It's like, I don't know. You have to do better than it's like that angers me.
That's it. I'm going against you. I did like Deadpool, but I get why people could not like it. But this actually leads into one movie that made me angry. And what makes me angry in movies, which is probably different from you guys, is when they fundamentally screw up a character. Ironically, the movie that I'm thinking of actually has Deadpool in it. It's X-Men Origins, Wolverine Origins, I think it is.
The classic.
Yeah. And they fundamentally destroyed Deadpool. Rule 1. He's supposed to be his nickname is the Merc with the mouth, and they sewed his mouth shut. Yeah. Rule number 1. And ironically, they actually should have sewed his mouth shut in his actual movie because of how it turned out. I agree. But no, I did enjoy the first one. The second one was terrible, but no. And then then he has these like swords that come out of his arms, and he has this weird. And he just, it just was so cringy when you seen it. Like, even then, it was just so bad. And they even messed him up in the very beginning where, he's not wearing a mask, he's just slinging, that's the sword, it's like ching, 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 just blocking all the bullets, and you're just like, I think that's Deadpool, but I'm not really sure. And then at the end, obviously, when he looks like that monstrosity, they're like, this is Deadpool. And I'm like, well, that's not Deadpool I know. I've seen the comics. That's definitely not him. And it just makes me so mad when they mess up characters like that.
So that's Deadpool. There's a million different superhero or hero things, and is there any other ones that they got wrong? Because clearly they don't follow the suit for everybody, and sometimes it works out better than others. And so, are there any other ones? Yeah, it's
funny you say that because it also ties into my next movie, which happens to be another Ryan Reynolds film.
I'm seeing a trend here, and we'll get into another topic that makes me angry.
The Green Lantern. The Green Lantern
now I know where this is going.
So bad, and I hated it. They messed up everything. Parallax, the main villain, literally looked like a CGI diarrhea mess on the screen. And
I didn't even see that.
Oh, it's so bad.
It was so bad. It made me mad
bad.
because I actually really love the Green Lantern in the character itself. And
it's so random. Did you though?
No. I'm talking about the character itself, as in from the comics.
Right. Yeah.
So I do like them, and so I was excited because it's like they announced Green Lantern. I'm like, sweet, it's gonna be so cool. Sinestro is gonna be awesome, and it's gonna be cool to see the corpse get together. And then it was just a hot mess. They wasted the corpse, and Sinestro did nothing. He was in it for 2 seconds.
The animation in it was awful.
The CGI suit.
CG was terrible.
The CGI suit. Oh, it was
Which
so
again,
bad.
Deadpool goes back and they try and make fun, but it's you can't correct the past.
There's bad movies that I enjoy, and I even try to find some silver lining, and I couldn't, and it made me so mad.
Couldn't find that green.
I found. And it left a bad taste in my mouth.
I'm not ashamed of that.
Enough so that in Justice League, when I saw the little thing where in the very beginning when they're battling it out and they're telling that backstory, and I saw the little ring float up into the air, I was like, oh God, Green Lantern! It just still has a bad taste in my mouth, and I hate it.
So I've seen. So there's a little trend going on here, and
no, are you doing it right now?
Just don't jump my gun. And so I'm seeing a trend here, and you guys you've heard this, and you're like, this just sounds like mild annoyances and not anger. And so I'm about to show you some anger. Buckle up. And so the trend, the trend I'm seeing here is is an actor. Have you ever had an actress that when you see or their performances make you angry? You? How about you, Andy? No?
I know.
There's no actors or actresses that make you angry. Cause I'll start with this. But you guys think about that. But, so I might
push mama and papa out of the room, kids, cause...
You ready for this? You might get a little hate for this, but one of my least favorite actor would be Ryan Reynolds.
We laugh because we've heard the anger spewed before.
They've heard this rant.
The venomous.
They've heard this rant so many goddamn times.
And I always defend him. And it
riles him up. It riles me up. He is, at best, a supporting actor, and that's the roles he should get. And I just do not get any movie he's in, any movie he is a main character. It's like even when he plays Deadpool, he's not a main character. The Mask. Deadpool is the character. He's a voice actor. That's great. Anybody could voice act a character. You could have put anybody as Deadpool and it would have been fine. Don't give me the stupid stuff of like, oh, well, his character really brings together Deadpool. No. Anybody can do some one-line quips and crude humor. It's like they got Vin Diesel to play Groot. They could have gotten anybody to do some crude humor.
That's true, which I was really surprised to learn that.
But other movies he's been in is just he's a supporting actor. He does not bring anything substantial to the table. He is just...
Anything substantial? Did you see The Proposal?
Yeah. I did, and I've seen all of his other stuff, and it's not bad, but it's not great. He's a nice face, a nice body for the ladies and or men. I don't discriminate.
I mean, Waiting?
It's a comedy. There's no good acting in a comedy.
I mean, he was fantastic, and he was
fantastic.
Acting. He was brilliant.
You want to say fantastic in Waiting?
He was brilliant.
No, that's like, oh yeah,
brilliant might be a bit too big.
Yeah, again, it's a comedy. Like, unless you're talking about like the main comedy that really make it to the top, like it's again a crude humor. It's not acting. It's nothing substantial. It's not winning you an Oscar, which granted he hasn't. And well, one thing the Academy did right, and.
Guys, this is what I do. And so I poke the bear by bringing up mediocre Ryan Reynolds movies and say that they're
it's because all these people that are like, oh, Ryan Reynolds, he's great, he's did this and that. It's Deadpool was mediocre at best, and it's just every other movie he's been in has been mediocre. The best movie I've seen that he's been in was Life. Was it Life?
Life was pretty great.
Life. That's the best movie I've seen.
The best thing he did was die.
Yeah, exactly.
Spoiler
the best
alert.
thing I saw was his insides. The best thing I ever saw was his insides being eaten by that stupid little octopus. And it's just...
He basically was an octopus.
Yeah, it's like an octopus that can fly around. It's space, yeah.
All right, yeah.
It's just... But, there was Jake Gyllenhaal in it, and I watched it because of Jake Gyllenhaal, not because of Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah, no, I get that.
Because, talk about an actor I like, one of the most favorite actors, Jake Gyllenhaal. We'll get into another different time when we're not talking about how angry Ryan Reynolds make me. But
you know who makes me angry? Katherine Heigl. I hate her.
Okay.
She's also so random.
Yeah, that came out of nowhere.
Yeah, I just thought of her because we were talking about rom-coms and stuff.
Yeah.
And she that's her shtick. Mm-hmm. And she's cancerous. She's so bad. I just don't like her face. I feel like I'm
not to say see that's me. It's I'm not like, oh, Ryan Reynolds, he's ugly.
I didn't say she was ugly.
But you sound like her face. That's almost like it comes across this
she's got resting bitch face, and it's and I feel like she's not acting. That's her.
All right, Andy, let's hear it. We've given
actually,
anybody you don't like.
No, but what that just made me, because you just said Jake Gyllenhaal, and for some reason that just made me think of Donnie Darko, and that made me think of cult movies, and where I'm going with this is there any movies that have gained cult status? So not necessarily maybe they're bad, but you don't agree with it, and it makes you mad why everyone likes it so much. I'm not even gonna say Donnie Darko is bad, but I actually just rewatched it this season. It's not even horror. I don't know why. I just watched it, but I watched it again, and I still I can't fathom still why it has gained such the cult status that it has. It's like you can spend hours online reading all these theories and how it all the physics and time warping and time travel but it's just okay. I don't dislike it, so that's how I just went on that thought process. I don't know if there's two segues. If that's a thing, if anyone has that.
I don't know if I do. I'm sure I do, but I just in my head I cannot think of any right now.
I mean,
what are some?
something like Napoleon Dynamite. I don't like that movie, and no
I
matter
like
how
that
many
movie,
times I watch it, and it doesn't. No, that doesn't necessarily make me angry. I just don't understand why people like it. It's just that type of humor.
So I'm looking at something that makes you makes you mad. Why so many people are like, this is absolutely amazing, and that's why I think Deadpool is almost there. And what I would say is I did not dislike it, but I cannot fathom why everyone was so head over heels for it. So that's why I just went to a cult thing, because that is just,
for me,
it's a more easier possibly to think about.
The Big Lebowski's another one for me.
Really?
Wow.
Wow.
That's a big one.
I don't.
Yeah, see, that's like, I would call that cult. So yeah,
Yeah, I would definitely call that cult.
So you might be on that side. You don't understand why.
I didn't hate it, but I certainly don't understand the rave. I mean, I had friends that were like, "Dude, you haven't seen it? You absolutely have to see it right now. Matter of fact, what are you doing tonight? No, you know what? Don't do it. Watch that. That's what you're gonna do." And I'm like, all right. And I eventually watched it.
Yeah, that's so big. There's what, festivals where like people dress up as the dude. There's a whole.
Yeah.
I don't think.
And I'm doing air quotes, a religion for what, a Judaism or.
I don't even.
Yeah,
I don't even
called.
think I chuckled once. It was stone cold. Almost fell asleep. I didn't like it. And I know I'm in the minority, but.
Yeah,
it makes me mad that
find
people
where
think
we're
it's
in
one
the
of the greatest
minority.
movies ever.
Where were we in the minority?
Yeah, so I'll go into two movies now where that's what I'm going to go into next. Those were the next two things I had in mind for anger, where these were movies that were generally well received, and these were more recent, both of them actually. One was last year, one was this year, that I strongly disliked. And not to say they were bad movies, but just strongly disliked and had a very strong differentiating opinion to like the general mass. And so one would be Mother. And I watched this movie, and again, it's not a bad movie. The fact that I had to, after the movie, I had to go into it, and the movie finished, and I had no idea what the movie was about. The fact that I had to look up what the movie was about, and then all these people online and all, like, the thing, like, I would have been more happy, and spoiler for anybody who's listening who hasn't seen Mother, with an exclamation point, you know, because that's important.
Panic.
Yeah.
After this.
And so it's like after the fact, it's like you finish it and you are thinking about all these different things and things it could have been, and then you read about like what the director wanted it to be, and it's just everything's biblical references, and it made me angry because I looked up, I was in my head, I was thinking about so many different things that could have been happening, and then I don't know, it just made me angry that it was something like, because it turns the movie into something that would be neat and fun and different into just like an art project. And it's just like, it turned it into just like, oh, let me just make this a statement piece. Instead of just making it a fun twist like, oh, the house was alive, or the, just...
Purgatory, or
it could have been, yeah, it could have been something, but just like, it's just almost just this like the shock factor almost, like just to get more.
So if they expositioned it in your face and told you directly what it was about,
I wouldn't have seen it, and it wouldn't have wasted my time.
Right, because when I saw it, you had previously alluded some things of what it was about before I had seen it.
Correct.
So
you had some kind of thought.
Which I think then it
might have helped. I think it
helped
did
me
help.
because it ended up being on one of my favorite movies of last year.
I would argue that you can't look at it as in that was not the way the movie was supposed to be seen. It was not supposed to be seen, or the director didn't want it to be seen with that.
So that's what I'm saying. So if you had the same thing I had, would it have made it better for you then? If you had an idea of what it was supposed to be about,
it might have. I think, and again, I think what made me so
because then
angry,
it wasn't shock factor. Like you would be able to.
It's not shock.
You would have your mind.
No, it's not
framed of what it should have been.
I think it was just because
all the
like
set pieces.
Yeah,
because it was still intense
it's a visually appealing movie. I think, but
that movie pissed me off too.
I don't.
And here's why: me and Kevin watched it together.
Yeah.
And at the end, we both sat around. We had our theories, and then he looked it up, right? And he is reading on his phone. I just want you to picture this. There's 2 separate couches that face one another, and he's looking on his phone on the opposite couch. I'm sitting on the other couch, and he's scrolling through, and he goes, "Ugh, do you really want to know what this is about?"
I did that.
And I said, yeah, give it to me. I want to know because I have no idea what this movie is about. And then he goes through and he's going through each part. He's like, remember this, remember this, remember this. This was this reference to the Bible.
Yeah.
This was this reference to the Bible. And all I remember saying was, screw you. Are you serious? That's what it was? And I was actually mad that that's what it turned out to be.
Well, because that's one thing. It's like I would.
But it made sense at the point. Were you more mad that you were like, fuck, that was it?
No, I could care less. I'm more mad when you make a movie so clouded and then after the fact tell me like, oh, well, you didn't get it. Like this is what you should have done.
I get it. It's pretentious kind of thing.
Yeah, it almost is. I would have almost rather them have just left it at nothing. Like I would have enjoyed that movie not knowing about anything that it would have been about. Like, if you just left it...
A mystery
and let me just have my own thoughts about it.
Yeah.
Like, I like that better than after the fact, because then it ruins any kind of creative thought I have. Because as you watch through the movie, you have a lot of creative thoughts yourself. Yeah, you think, well, that could be this, and that could be that. And it's, like you said, it's kind of just this presumptuous thing, and they kind of just, like, take it away from you. Mm-hmm. By being like, well, I don't know.
This was what it was about. So
well, I don't know what you were thinking.
You're dumb if you didn't get it.
Exactly, and that's kind of what made me angry about it, and what really disliked it. I would have liked a movie where it's like, give me my liberties to come up with my theories or think about it, and sometimes that makes me angry in itself. Movies that kind of leave on a twist and don't give a kind of conclusion, but that's better than being that whole thing where it's just like, oh, well, that's what you thought, but you're wrong because this is actually it.
No, I get that.
So that's what really angered me there. And then another movie, which I don't even know if either of you guys saw it eventually, but this year I saw a movie, and it is Searching. And
I did not see that.
It made me, and these two know again.
About it.
Here we go.
These two know again. I've ranted to them, so this is nothing new. This is not made up on the spot. They knew when I saw the movie it made me angry, and this is a movie that was very well received. It got phenomenal ratings. What's his name? Who's in it? Is he Harold or Kumar? I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know which one he is.
John Cho.
So John Cho is in Searching, and this is something that I don't. And this is one of those movies where I just did not understand. This is even the difference. It's like even this is the difference. Like Mother. I understood why people gave it good ratings, because visually, it's a good movie, it's a sound movie, and the reasons I disliked it were just because I didn't like the reasoning behind it. There was nothing against the movie of being good or anything like that. This is a movie where I questioned, like, the foundation and why people were even giving it good ratings. People kind of talked about this was, like, a fun new, like, twist on how to do a movie, because it's almost of like the found footage kind of genre. It's like that kind of genre, but it's like a lot of it from a computer and things like that. But it's just, I mean, it was such a boring movie, and it was just, to me, it
wasn't the first, right?
No, it's not the first. And so I don't know why.
I don't know which movie did it.
I don't recall either.
There was like Friended or something.
There was other movies that had done this.
Was it,
there was other movies that did things that were more based on a computer, but it's just like, but that's what it was. It was like based off of a computer where it's like he was doing it, but at the end it's just, it wasn't well executed to me, and everybody ranted and raved that this was a brand new thing and they did it so well, and it's just like there were scenes where he was like on his phone but then was on his laptop, and so he was like texting through his laptop, and it was like this narration thing where he'd be going through the laptop, and just to like make sure the audience could keep up, he would like go with his mouse and hover over something for a second and then click. It's like, guys, are you following where I'm going with the mouse? And it's just this, it was this whole thing, and there was all these extra sidelines with characters and stuff, and there is one line in this movie which for sure had to have taken at least 2 or 3 stars off for me. Like, I don't even remember what I gave it. I feel like I gave it like a 4 out of 10 or something. Like, I can't imagine.
So are you saying that Searching's timely premise and original execution bolstered by a well-rounded cast?
Oh, and the acting, it was awful.
Was great. Because that's what the critics said.
Yeah.
Who said that?
John Cho did...
Give him a shout out.
Rotten Tomatoes.
John Cho did terrible. There's no acting in this movie. It's all just this fake emotions. It's obviously fake emotions. I get they're acting.
Not like a real anger emotions, am I right?
Everything's fake acting for fake emotions for acting. But it's just like, there's just no emotion for it. He's like, I've seen movies where people are crying, and they could at least, they come on the set, they give them a couple little eye drops on their face, and there's like, oh yeah, they maybe rub their eyes for a couple minutes to make them red or something. It's like, he gets upset, his best acting...
Eye nuggies.
Yeah, his best tactic for crying is, I'm just gonna look at the ground and hold my head. You don't actually ever see him upset. Yeah, it does a pan out, him crying, he's groveled on the floor, and I'm like, good job. You could just as easily be being attacked by a bear as crying. And this, I don't even know. Do I want to even go into the line that makes me fucking hate the movie?
Oh, please.
Because you guys, I've spared it from you because you were gonna watch it.
No, I don't think...
Give me a treat.
We can't walk out of the room, though, so...
Trick or treat.
Can I do
all right,
it?
All
right.
What happened?
This is gonna spoil the whole movie.
No,
That's the problem.
Yeah, go ahead. I don't care about that.
You don't care. You do.
You go ahead.
So there is one. You're gonna have to edit this. There's one.
I can still hear you. I tried to plug my ears. That ain't happening.
I mean,
just
we cannot do it. It doesn't matter.
But if it makes us better.
Oh, the ending makes me so angry. Can I please say it?
He is so angry.
Can I please? It's making
so angry.
Oh, I'm so mad. The ending is so...
It's like the yeller knock on the wall.
Okay. Andy left the room because he does not want to hear my spoiler, and if you do not want this movie to be spoiled, do not listen to this part. The detective who is helping John Cho throughout the whole movie, she's actually the one who's covering up the whole murder. And it's this whole scene where there's like, oh my god, this is such a big twist, and there's nothing, like, this is crazy. And so the daughter, she felt like the detective's kid pushed his daughter down into a ravine. And he was like, oh, well, there was no noise when she was at the bottom, so she must be dead. You're like, there was water and everything. And he's like, the human, it was like 7 days or something like that. Or it was so many days. And they're driving in a car, it's panned above, and they're going to where her body is supposed to be. So it's been so many days, and there's this fucking one-liner that they just throw in that's supposed to be such a shock factor. And so the daughter, granted, Dan, the daughter's supposed to be down at this bottom of this ravine for say 10 days. And they're like, John Cho's like, oh, you can't. Humans can't live for more than 7 days without water. John Cho, he's like, but it rained 3 days ago. And so they fucking rush there, and they're like, she's alive. I guess she drank the rain, and it's like this big shock thing where they're like, oh, she couldn't have lived, and it's like, they do the dramatic music and stuff, and he's like, it rained 3 days ago, she's alive, and they fucking go there. Of course, she's fucking alive at the bottom of the fucking ravine, and they pull her out, and I'm like, that's your twist. The twist is like, oh, the detective, I'm like, every mystery novel, crime novel, it's the detective who's behind it. And then you're gonna tell me the twist at the end that why she's alive is because it rained a couple days ago? If this takes place in California like it looks like it does, I don't even know if they premised it, she died in a mudslide. She died by drowning because she's in a ravine and things just flood.
This makes me think.
You have to watch it.
That part makes me think of another movie that now just reminded me.
Well, we'll get Andy back in here. So please hold on. We're getting Andy. Go watch this movie, and please just tell me what you think about it. I hated this movie. It was terrible. And they're downstairs now. Oh, great. Andy dropped his phone inside the couch. There's a little slit in the side, and last time he did this, we had to cut the little covering on the bottom of the couch out. And that's what's going on downstairs now. So, but yeah, that searching, made me angry. Well, you know. Do you hear this? It's fucking ridiculous. These clowns downstairs. Hi, Andy. I know you're editing this right now. Does this give you the shivery reverse? Does this make you uncomfortable that I'm talking to you in the future from the past? Alright, well, I'm done with that. Oh, God. Fucking hated that movie. Got great reviews. What did I give it? Let me see. I actually want to find out what I gave it. Oh, that was an awful burp. Ugh.
He dropped his phone.
Yeah, I know. I gave it a 5 out of 10.
Wrist.
Yeah, I gave it a 5 out of 10. Yeah, pretty close. Alright, you're back. We're done my searching rant.
Alright, so...
Well, that actually worked out.
Right. I have something.
Because something was happening.
Alright, so pause.
So I have something to go off of what you said, just in case we want to use it. So you can pause and...
I'll just come in now, say Andy's back, and Dan's going to continue. So, we got Andy back here in the room with us. Yep, that's him. And so, going off of my searching rant that Andy did not want to hear, and better watch this movie at some point, because I'm sick of you just tiptoeing around you. Anyway.
Yeah, no.
One thing, like, this wasn't even on my list.
Let's hear it.
There was something that, when you were describing the end of Searching, there was something specifically from a movie...
Why do you want to hear it?
Well, it's not going to talk about... I don't care about Searching, but...
Rightfully so. It is a bad movie.
But, I might check it out, but I don't care about being spoiled.
But now you'll have a good time with it. Now
it's good bad. It'd be a good bad for me.
Because it's just bad, though.
But the way you were describing the ending of Searching, it made me think of a moment in a movie that actually did piss me off. And it was the ending to Jurassic World... the new
Fallen
one,
Kingdom?
Fallen Kingdom, where, spoiler alert, at the end, the little girl pushes the button after everyone's saying that's a terrible idea it is, right? They just tell her, it's a terrible idea, don't do it, and all of a sudden she just pushes it, and they were just screaming at the one adult there to not do it, and this is why you don't do it. You don't do it because it's a bad idea. Then the little girl does it, and everyone does this like really stupid group hug, and then they go on this drive around this cliff, and then there's like, it's like,
oh yeah, the
drive, and it's like, and there's like the sunset off this cliff of California, and then just like dinosaurs flying, and you're just like, oh my god, upsetting. I was so mad when I seen that. I was like, this is the dumbest ending to any movie I've ever seen.
I mean, not any movie, but you know, it was.
I didn't see Searching, so
yeah. I mean, you've seen Ryan Reynolds movies, so.
I was just gonna say to go on to themes. I don't know if anybody has those, and you know, of course, everyone could pick out like, oh, I don't like movies that do jump scares, or I don't like shaky cam. I'm looking at like more of a device in a movie, which not necessarily ruins it, because that's like the whole point of it. But something that always made me mad for no reason is a movie where somebody sees something and then nobody believes them for the entire, pretty much the entire friggin' thing. And for some reason that bothers me, and I can't think of more than anything but Child's Play, as an example, where he sees that clearly his doll is animated and killing things and doing terrible things, and but just nobody believes the main character for the whole thing, and obviously that's the point of it, but for some reason that is
it makes you more angry than you should be.
It's something really random that just gets under my skin, and I don't know, maybe because I'm just putting myself in their shoes. I don't know what it is, but it's like a really random theme that just like not upset. It just gets me mad. I'm just like, but just do this or show them this. Take a picture. Just God damn it, show them. Like it's moving. It's literally doing terrible things. It's killing people.
So
like,
I mean,
it's just
yeah, kind of. So
why.
like,
but so it's not like against the movie itself because like.
It's like that feeling.
Yeah, it's like that's
what they're trying to do.
It's just a projection
but you're like,
of the movie.
You're like, it's too much.
It makes me mad. I don't know.
Yeah,
so like, I was wondering if anyone had like a theme or something like that.
A theme for me is
or like one of those things where like it's a device like I don't like when people do
so I don't know if it's a
Dutch shots.
I don't know if it's a device or a theme, but I severely dislike directive hand holding. I really dislike for where movies, they will go through something and they will, and I get it, but like for
so
certain...
like in your face exposition, is that what you mean?
Kind of, yeah. Or more so where it's like...
explaining the movie.
Or it's like a mystery or something going on, and it's like that end scene or something happens, and clearly they just broke what happened, but they have to have a character that says like, wait, so you mean so-and-so was behind it all along? It's like
the Scooby-Doo thing.
Kind of. Or not even, but that's what I mean. Not that's an example, but like you said, the exposition.
Kevin, the one who's sitting in the middle, did it.
Yeah, and so it's that kind of thing where it's like somebody might have just exposed the evidence to show it, but it's like they will not leave it at that. They won't give you the credit of being smart enough to connect all these things together.
Which is completely contradictory to his mother thing, because that just left it completely out of nowhere. It's when you are fucking anybody is smart enough to get it.
Yes.
But they still have to explain it.
Yes. That's what I mean. That's what I mean. It's not like that movie, it's like there wasn't any... It wasn't right out there. Yeah. It's not like they were like, this is the evidence, and then you were like, oh, I get it, and then you had that character or exposition.
This is something that had an answer... They told you it, but then they said, "We still don't know."
They said,
Let's double check.
Let's make sure you got it." And they go through and they say it, or it's something like that. And so it's like that's what I mean by like the directive hand holding, where they're like, they treat you like an idiot, and it's like I get it, cause I get it. I'm an idiot, but like I can grasp basic concepts and shapes and things like that. Shapes, colors,
put the circle
in the circle.
I can't get colors.
Yeah, I'm all right with those, but
he said I don't get colors. He's colorblind, by the way. If you guys didn't know.
They don't. I would have left that open for all 13 people to wonder.
Yeah, but so that makes me angry. That's like a device that's in lots of movies where it's just like, or even just something where it's like, they'll do something where somebody's like parent dies or something, and then there's just a scene there you're just like, oh man, how you been doing since your dad died? And you're just like, yeah, I understand their parents dead. Like you did the shot with them at the funeral.
You can relate. It doesn't need to be said.
Remember when your dad died? How was that?
How sad were you?
How are you doing about your dad died?
Yeah.
Dead?
Going off that a little bit, something that really pisses me off is lazy writing or lazy directing. Specifically, I can give an example from pretty much any horror movie out there. Like, you're trying to tell me that you guys are supposed to be the smartest writers in like Hollywood, and you guys have all these huge budgets, and you guys are supposed to be the best of the best writers, right? Because what I'm saying is, if people that are in Hollywood making a lot of these movies, there's a lot of independent film makers that aren't big enough, but you're supposed to be the highest of the highest,
supposedly,
right? But you're trying to tell me you can't think of a smarter way of a killer catching someone other than having the poor girl trip every single time and twist her ankle, and it's just I'm running away. I'm running away.
You're like the horror devices, like you're like the stupid tripping, or just like the tripping on nothing.
Like the movies that forgo that or overpass that are so much better. Like we had talked about Hush and there was another one. doesn't matter.
But
When they're stronger and smarter and they're not,
and they
helpless,
just go above that. It's
like,
not just the girl.
They're like, hey, we don't have to have this person fucking trip or stumble.
And as we say this, every single one of you who are listening can imagine the blonde with the big boobs who's running away from this person. That's the person who trips, and you know that's the person who trips. It's the way it's been written.
You know, it's balanced.
That's what I'm saying. That's how it's written.
Such large knockers, you can't keep going.
That's what I'm saying, but that's how it's written. You couldn't write a better way for her to get caught. Like, that's the only way you could think of. That stuff makes me mad when I see it. Right. And it just makes me shake my head, and
and you're like, it's lazy. You could have been so much more creative with the way you killed them. You're like, I could think of a million ways to kill somebody.
And I'm a nobody. Making no money.
We could kill people better than Hollywood.
I think so.
I don't know if we want to.
Alright, yeah, we want to edit that out.
No, that's fine.
And now, we are going to bridge an awkward gap, an abrupt segue into a completely new and unrelated topic by sharing with you a secret downstairs clip. Recorded some time ago, this never-before-heard bit of audio represents exactly the emotion of this podcast episode. An example of the ire, the wrath that can lay within the heart of man. Bear witness to a sample of completely unadulterated rage and fury. A relationship nearly torn by the ugliness of the emotion that is anger.
No, you want to talk about something that's fucking awful? Like, when we're doing fucking sex, I'm at the fucking kill, I'm laying the pipes, and I'm fucking soldering and everything, I'm doing all the fucking things I can, and then fucking she laughs at a joke with friends, and I'm like, fuck you, bitch! I'm doing everything I fucking can! You're laughing at Joey fucking Tribbiani right now? I really do! So this shit's really fun. And then she looks at me and she's like, oh, I'm back. I'm giving maximum effort.
Sometimes I'm not even actually watching, I just hear it and I'm like, that's funny. Oh, man.
It's fucking worst. The best sex comes when, ironically, when Netflix says, are you still watching? But it's worse, it's like I'm laying a fucking pipe, stroking like a fucking champion, and she's like, am I still watching? Yeah, I am! And she fucking hits the button, and I'm like, bitch!
I don't. I'll hit continue watching, says Mom doesn't hear it.
I'm stroking one of the patients in the ICU over here, and fucking you're watching Friends.
Thank you for listening. Now we will return to the podcast.
So were there experiences in theaters that had made us mad at all?
I had one last week.
Just what's up?
I had one last week.
There you go. All right. Well, good.
Was pretty upset. Halloween. Wanted to see it. Great movie.
Did you see on Halloween, or you saw the movie Halloween?
Well, because I've seen two movies in the same weekend, and both.
But we're talking about the movie Halloween.
Yes, I did not see it on Halloween.
Okay.
But I had two really bad movie experiences back to back.
Halloween 2018.
Yeah.
Halloween 2, not 2.
So basically, in Halloween, it was a simple one. Person to my left, about two people over, was the, oh no, don't go in there! Like, think about that type of person, and you're just like, can you shut up, please? We already know that they're gonna do lazy writing because it's a horror movie, and they're gonna do the dumb thing.
Yeah,
and
sure.
Just
lazy
stop.
writing.
Well, yeah,
Lazy writing New Halloween.
It was great.
Fantastic.
It was great. Yeah, I did love the movie. What I'm saying is, they still use some of those similar devices.
But it was good.
And some of those predictable devices that you kind of can't get away from with horror movies, but you don't need to vocalize it. We all know it's going to happen. Just you don't need to vocalize it.
People, I think that's one of the things we're going to, and that's one of mine. People in the theater that had made you mad, that ruined your movie-going experiences, or any other.
Yeah. My second back-to-back day, because it was a back-to-back boy. We went, me and Michelle went to go...
Double back boy.
We went to go see A Star Is Born. Pretty good movie. not all that
These
it's
are
cracked
both
up to be,
recent.
but it was pretty good.
These are both extremely recent.
Yes.
For whenever this gets out.
There's no spoilers or anything. But so there was 2 older women next to us, and it was just one of those. Yeah, she was just like the one woman was yell whispering to the one. I couldn't understand.
Digital
what she was
Dolby sound is already extremely blasting in their ears.
So she.
Hey, Andy!
So, like, the one woman...
Is that Bradley Cooper?
It's pretty funny you brought him up, because...
I think that's Gwen Stefani.
Well, because this is literally how it went. She goes, hey, that Bradley Cooper looks good with the hair. And just like that. And then the lady next to her doesn't hear her and goes, huh? And then she goes, that Bradley Cooper looks good with the hair. And she goes...
She has to say a lot of
Then she goes, it's too loud, I can't hear you. And I'm like... And she was like, I'll tell you after. And I'm like, oh my god, you could have just waited. And then about half an hour later in that movie, there's a guy in the back that was clearly sleeping, right? Clearly sleeping, because he wakes up and he goes, just deliberately, just picture this, ready? We're gonna have a moment of silence. This thing's still going on, and his wife or whoever it is like, shut up! Go out, it's not over, get out of here. And he's like, I'm going, I'm going. And he's really, they're yelling at each other in the back of the theater, and it was...
That's frustrating.
In some of the better parts of the movie. It was a decent movie. It's not all it's cracked up to be, in my opinion, but it was a decent movie, and it was actually in a pretty tension-filled moment, too. So it literally just sucked me out of the movie.
The situation.
And I was like, come on, man. Yeah. And I hate when those things happen. What happened to you?
So I've had some of these experiences with people and stuff, but that doesn't really what makes me angry. Every time, without fail, what makes me angry in a movie experience is people that decide they need to clap at the end of a movie or during a movie. It drives me up the wall and makes me
you really hate
angry.
This.
And again, this is something I've brought up before. These are things that where you guys can attest. These made me angry because I have ranted to them about these things. Yeah. And it drives me nuts where either a movie finishes and everybody decides they all need to clap, they all need to cheer. Yeah, standing ovation, this is fantastic, that's great. Yeah, because nobody fucking cares. Nobody's there to see your applause. Oh, the director, I'm sure they're going to appreciate that. They're going to watch you on some no-name theater. I'm sure they're here. I'm sure somebody's going to pass the word along that you guys loved it, gave an ovation.
Yeah, it's not like it's a play where they're doing it live.
That's what I mean. There's no live performance in front of you. It's like a respect thing. It's what nobody cares.
No, it's like a community thing. Like, you can know everybody.
It's stupid. I'm watching Godzilla.
Hey, real
and it's
man.
Like,
you changed that reel really good. Thanks, man.
Yeah. It's like Godzilla. No, they don't even change reels anymore. It's a USB stick. It's like, good job. You didn't corrupt that file, bro. But it's like, I was like, the most recent Godzilla I saw. And it's like, things like that. During the monster fight, Godzilla starts winning. Everybody starts clapping. I'm like, who are you clapping at? Godzilla? He's fake. He's not real. Stop clapping. Like, not even a performer or anything. At that point, you're clapping at the CGI performance of a monster, of a dinosaur winning against an alien monster. Look at yourself. You're a clown.
You should be ashamed.
You're a clown. You're a clown. You should go to the circus. You're a clown. Yeah. You want a performance.
How are those clown shoes working on you?
Yeah. You're big and goofy, like your face. It's just stupid. Anyway, like, I don't get the clapping. Like, oh, let's all clap at the end. Yeah, it's great. No, because what if some of us didn't like that movie? I'm not clapping with you. Don't clap like don't. You don't clap, but that doesn't help.
You stand and you don't clap.
That doesn't help.
On top of
because everybody's clapping, and it's like everybody claps.
You should give a boo.
Guarantee. End of searching. People probably clap because they're like, oh my god, fantastic! That's masterpiece. Let's throw roses on the stage. Throw it at the screen because just throw it right there. Just blat. Hit the screen because
the screen.
Yeah,
the thorn cuts through.
Yeah, because
tears the whole.
Because so many people are just caring about the movie that they just had to clap. They had to show their appreciation for paying $13, $15 a ticket to go see a movie for overpriced snacks, and thank you for giving this to us. No, stupid. You don't get it. You did your job. Good job. You made a good movie. You did your job. I'm done.
Amazing.
I'm done. That's it. I'm done.
Wow, it's amazing.
Holy crap. That was...
Yeah, I mean,
Enough?
I didn't go with Dan's is like assholes in the theater. One of the things I mentioned on the comment was Hulk. I forget what year it was with Eric Bana. Like, it already was not a good movie.
That was the one right before the reboot.
Before what was it? Incredible Hulk, and then
I think so.
Norton.
It doesn't matter. It was
Yeah,
the bad one.
It was already terrible, and probably because of that, if you can't entertain like young preteens, like you've got a really huge problem. So like we had a bunch of just like shitty kids behind us, and I guess throughout the movie they just got so bored that they're like just throwing fucking popcorn and ice cubes at like us, and like it. Like the whole movie, and it didn't matter that like we turned around and said anything. Like, just, you know, they didn't have any guardians with them, so like,
it's teenagers.
just free range.
If you turn around and you say, "Hey, stop it," they probably start doing it more.
Yeah, so it's either we walk out and go up to someone who works there, get these people out of here. Like, it's what do you do? Like, it was just miserable, and it wasn't even like, you know, after, you know, just dealing with that, we're like, well, now we can watch. You know, at least let's just focus on this. Really, just invest it in this good movie. We didn't have that.
Yeah, just walked up, knocked the popcorn out of their hand.
We shouldn't.
To pick it, rub their nose in it.
Yeah, pick it up,
pulled their pants down.
Yeah, and then kicked them there.
Yeah, kicked them over.
Yeah.
Walked
them right into the room, gave them a swirly.
And spit on
in the bathroom.
Slow.
Kevin's still mad.
So yeah, that was the thing. The other thing I mentioned was just because I have a thing where like at home, like I know you're very easy to not, or how do I word this? You very easily cannot finish a series,
but
movie.
I've never not finished a movie except for what was that Priest one? What was that? That was just out last...
The Nun?
No, last year. What was that one? Oh, God. It was First Reformed. That was one movie recently that I can think of that I did not finish because I tried to watch it a couple times and just could not get into it.
I didn't even know you attempted it.
Twice. And it was just...
I wanted to... We heard good things. Didn't we hear that from
I heard lots of good things, but I just got bored with it. I don't know if it was because it was just slow to start with or not. I don't know. It was about priests, and they were just going to, like... I guess... I forget what it was, even story. It was like one guy, like, escaped from somewhere or went missing or something. I don't remember, but... Just did not interest me, and I just couldn't get through it. But generally... I've never walked out of a movie, and I've never just, like, stopped a movie. I've watched through all my movies, but series, you're right. Series, as soon as I get tired of them, I will drop them like a bad habit.
Yeah, you do. Yeah,
like,
I don't stop movies either. I mean, I'm trying to think at home if I have, because I was like, yeah, I certainly have, but I don't know if I have. For definitely, if I've paid money and I went to see something, I'm certainly not walking out of it. It's just that it's like a principle thing. Like, I paid it, I want to see it, and the only other thing is the other movie that I mentioned in that one comment is the second Transformers movie. That was probably the worst movie that I've seen in theaters. Like, I can't even. This is not a review on it, so I'm not going to say anything else. But like I was with a bunch of friends, and amazingly, we all were on the same page. And I've got friends who aren't always on the same page, and not like her nose are up in the air, not Transformer. Like, but no, like we watched it, and it was just a blur of CGI metal, and like the story was just all over. It just was not enjoyable, and I remember us just all walking out once it was finally done, and just being like, wow, what was that? And yeah, that was it. I can't recall anything else that was just so angering and just terrible. But we sat through it because I'm the same way. I don't walk out of anything. I'm trying to think of anything I walked at home that I literally stopped at.
At home, I don't think I've ever turned anything off. Clearly, like, there's movies where it's like if it's been on, like, I'll start paying less attention to it. Like, I might be like on my phone more, things like that. But there was never a movie I'm gonna like turn off completely, especially if it's something like Because I feel like by the time I'm quitting a movie, it's like halfway through. That's by the time I'd be thinking about quitting. Like, to give it a fair chance, like, you're at least an hour or so in, and then by then, most movies nowadays, it's like you're either 30 minutes or an hour away from the end. And so a lot of them, it's you stick to the end. And that's more so why I quit more easily on series, is because that's a much more time-committing thing.
I will still go on for series that have turned shit.
Yeah.
And I'll keep going on. But
see, that's
you know
such
what?
a time commitment.
I've stopped now because I have no more cable and I have no way to watch them. So things like Walking Dead. And,
you've seen the light.
Which is bad. And Better Call Saul, which is good.
Yeah.
Which is unfortunate that I can't continue watching, but I've got no cable now. So guess I'm with everybody else and I'm waiting till it's on Netflix.
Yeah.
But... yeah.
So, yeah, that's some of the things that made us angry. Do you guys have anything else to add?
That made us
The only movie recently that I turned off was also a Transformers movie.
Yeah.
Sweet.
It was the last one.
Yeah, it makes sense. It's a Transformers movie.
Yeah, we didn't like it.
From
After about 35 minutes.
Yeah, we didn't like it.
Yeah.
It was pretty...
I get that.
Yeah, I get that too.
So that's that, and I'm ending that very abruptly and ironically, but what is the next emotion that we are on? I believe it is disgust.
Yes.
So how we're going to frame that is...
things that are, I guess, off-putting, things that are kind of gross and
I think for ease of discussion, for me personally, I'll talk about things that actually just actually disgusted me watching it, that put me off, that filled me with unease.
So do you mean like...
not necessarily horror, but things that I actually had trouble watching?
So you mean things like Ryan Reynolds movies?
Full circle.
There we go.
Because...
that's beautiful.
Because you know what? Because that would make me uneasy. Does that count as disgust?
Maybe you can bring it up again.
I don't think I want to.
If you guys start hearing Ryan Reynolds again in the next podcast, and just
you know what? He doesn't deserve it.
You're right.
He doesn't deserve the talk.
You're right. So how are you gonna frame your disgust?
I was going to go towards movies that do things that they don't need to do in terms of maybe unnecessary gore. Maybe in those terms. There's quite a few I can think of that I don't think needed to be framed in the way that they were, shot in the way that they were, and I think a lot of those disgust me, or sometimes anything that's Medea.
Wow.
Whoa, throwing it out there.
So random.
I just thought of that. Tyler Perry disgusted me.
Save it for the next one. And that's our Inside Out podcast, I guess, if we'll just stick on those characters.
Call it a series, yeah.
So we'll do that, and then we'll see what happens after that. So we are the Mediocritics. I lost.
Oh no.
I don't even know. Did I even do a crazy head pop? The headphones literally split off my head.
They just
crazily
bound from his head. They were done with it.
So, I'm Andrew. I don't know why we're saying names to end it. But
I don't know. I'm Kevin.
Anyway, yeah, we're the Mediocritics.
We said that already. Say Dan.
Dan.
I'm Dan. Bye, guys.
He's Dan. Goodbye.
I'm drunk.
Stay mediocre.
I'm sober.
Yeah.
I didn't have a drink.
Congrats.